So that's a little bit hype. Scarlett is streaming her matches today, so if you guys want to see her stuff, if we don't cast it for whatever reason, you can find that on Team Liquid. And unfortunately, normally TAiLS does cover the second series or like alongside us, but apparently they're having a lot of frame drop issues today, which is unfortunate. It feels like the last couple days, the internet worldwide is taking turns falling apart and dying, so that's a bit unfortunate. At any rate, I'm Rifkin, joined by Zombie Grub. You're watching the Olimoleague as we get into this first best of 3 today. In the bottom left side, he is going to be one of the Koreans we've seen the most, but honestly, rank not the highest. It is going to be TAiLS. I bring this up because I don't know his opponent, but maybe there's a chance?
In the bottom right, as the red Terran, it is Boab.
Who 2-0'd the other player named Kuro. I don't know who that is either, but the name's familiar. I think he's signed up for brackets before.
Yeah, definitely signed up for Olimoleague at the very least, but maybe even a couple of the tournaments. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure TAiLS is still going to win this, but you're right, we don't know Boab. I'm 90% sure that he's not Korean. No.
Right, so this is, speaking of TAiLS, this is where it gets a little bit weird for me, right? Like, TAiLS is not a bad player, and I don't ever want to make it out like he is. I always have that fear in the back of my mind that, like, as we try to describe somebody, it goes like, they think they're shit. But that's never really the case. There's like, only 2 players in all of StarCraft, one of which doesn't even play anymore, that would ever classify in that category of, like, I think this is a shitty player. But when it comes to TAiLS, like, okay, he doesn't beat people like BaseTradeTV and other pretty good foreigners, fine. That's understandable. But he also loses to really random and stupid things. Like,
Yeah.
one game he'll be the Protoss like guy who can take on, say, Boab, and then game 2 for whatever reason he'll fall apart, and we won't understand why. He'll make stupid moves. He'll not make a stalker. He'll, like, just a liberator will shut him down. TAiLS is in a weird spot for me right now, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, he's really not very solid. He's not that guy that you can throw through
He's
throw
like corn.
a few punches at. Oh, please no. Throw a few punches at and expect him to like bounce back, even if he does end up losing. Like you throw a punch at him, and it feels like he just crumbles. So whether it's a liberator or like a widow mine drop or what have you, it all seems to affect him the same, which is just it's odd. It's something that I would attribute to it being usually European time because he's been playing a lot of European tournaments. So this is the Olimoleague, it might be at night, sure, but it's still not a terrible time for Koreans. There's no server lag, and I don't know. I don't know about these. All 3 of our Protosses that appear, TAiLS, Super, and the other one that I keep
See,
forgetting.
I'm actually really jaded on Super because we've seen Super win tournaments that we've cast and hosted, and like he did well on the side at Race Wars. He did well in, I don't remember what the fuck we cast him in recently, but one of our events, like, Super's won things, and we always like, oh cool, we didn't expect that. And the next time we see him in the Olimoleague or any other cup, he like.
It's true, yes. I do remember that, yeah, because we also didn't anticipate him to win our tournament or get second place.
Yeah, it's it's the volatility of Protoss. One day you're on, the next day you're not.
It's not entirely wrong. I feel like they've gotten actually less volatile in Legacy of the Void, but that's only for some players, to be honest. Like, right now, I do feel like there are a lot of Protosses who either they get the matchup, I'm thinking specifically PvZ, but, all the other matchups too, or they don't. And, it can vary day by day as well.
Well, regardless of how this ends up turning out, I would like to know that Boab, I want to just call him Boab.
Boab.
Like it's like an STV with an accent saying Bob, right? Like, normally you say Billy Boab.
Is that the country accent, Bailey Boab?
I don't know. Anyways, Boab, as I'm going to call him from now on. Not Boab. That sounds weird. But Boab has gone 4+1. He's gotten tanks out. I mean, this would only be even weirder if he took a... This would only be weird at this point if he took a 3rd really early. But I am waiting to see whether he's going to make that distinction of throwing down 2 extra barracks. Well, 2 to 4 extra barracks. Or if he'll go for an actual 3rd base.
Well, we'll see shortly as the extra 2 barracks, but still, I mean, it could be a 2-base push, but Ruins isn't exactly like it's no layer lack.
I don't like this.
The single tank drop.
Well, not only because it's going to be Blink Stalkers, but it's Protoss. Like, this doesn't work versus Protoss. There's an overcharge available.
Yeah.
And I was gonna lose them both. Rip. Okay, so not off to a good start.
No, no, no. Well, I mean, okay, so the good news is he wasn't planning on going for a tank push anyway. So losing a tank, it sucks. Losing a medevac sucks even more. But you weren't hoping to add that on top of a push. He does get a third CC, but as well as like 2 additional barracks. I mean, he's playing a pretty standard Terran game, but is falling behind. Not just because of that tank loss, but you know, he's unable to pressure TAiLS off from a third base, so that was very
Yeah.
quick for Protoss, and he's just losing it out in the macro.
Shout out to Dio Nasty for the 4-month resub, by the way. I was going to comment, the third base I find a little bit funny. After casting a lot of players like Drunken Boy and many others who have been doing that style of Terran where you just kind of all in and then lift your command center to the third and continue and all in, I've tried that recently on ladder, and I just don't see the appeal to it. Like, it feels too, like, it's like you're always trying to breathe, but you just can't catch your breath, is how I feel playing that style. So, granted, I'm a terrible player. I just don't know the appeal to it. And while I would normally say, great, a third base, because this is more akin to what I like to see personally, I don't think that's going to help Boab too much here.
No, it's not gonna help him. I don't think he's gonna die. Oh well, actually,
He might.
maybe.
He doesn't really have any medevacs because he never followed up the production of that first one going down. So, having just spent the last 2 minutes getting all of his reactors and tech labs added on, he's got to pull some SCVs into this, and he does, which is smart and good and great. But it's Blink Stalkers against Bio. Stim's not done for this.
But I think TAiLS a little scared that it might be coming up soon, and plus the medevacs to come out, the Widow Mines as well, but the Observer is over the army.
And
He
there's
pulls
2.
back, but I mean, waiting for the Warp Prism, waiting for the sentries to provide that Guardian Shield. With the reinforcements, I think this will be game.
If the Widow Mines had a chance to go off, maybe, you know, you get the EMP effect going on. Looks a little bit different, but not going to be the case. And yeah, TAiLS is Don't blink or you'll miss it. Haha, right? Puns.
Yeah.
No, unfortunate for Boab. I don't understand the tank drop. I don't get behind that idea, but his macro wasn't too terrible. He just really wasn't ready for this attack. I mean, I wanted just like 2 bunkers even. Like, I really think he would have held to get his production going.
I mean, there's some very small things. Like, he could have gotten the 2 extra barracks sooner, the total of 5. And yeah, he could have had at least 1 bunker, which, you know, is not uncommon at all to see just early on. And you keep it alive, and suddenly it's a lot easier to defend against that.
Thank you, by the way, B-Roop, for a 13-month resub. And then while we were offline, the Imperial 18 donated $2 and said hashtag save it. You only have a mustache once. I don't believe that's true, but I will put the $2 into save it. And for those who don't know what the save it, shave it thing is, it's not just about the mustache. Any donations we get up until when we leave until DreamHack Austin are going to go towards trying to take the fans out of DreamHack Austin. Like, if we can say, look, guys, if you're a BaseTradeTV fan, drop by the Applebee's after games on Saturday or something, and we could pay for it. Like, that would be my dream situation to do. If we don't raise enough money to do that, that's also cool. We'll have a great fucking time at DreamHack Austin. But the save it or shave it thing is just adding some fun to it. So, to clarify, if shave it wins, I get to chop this thing off before going to DreamHack, and I don't look like a pedo in the eyes of the TSA. If Save It wins, I have to actually keep it for DreamHack Austin, in which Zombie Grub and Olivia can do what they want with it when we're there. Either shave it off or make it into a Hitler stash, or I don't know, whatever. But that's where we're at with this.
Fear Dragon has no say.
A little bit of peach fuzz, I think it's called. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 2 here for the Olimoleague. Spawning the upper right side of Dusk Towers is going to be our blue Terran player defending Boab.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is TAiLS.
You know how there's a lot of ways to tell where Rifkin's at right now in StarCraft 2 in terms of observing, or casting. How awake he is versus how bored he is. And a lot of that has to do and is reflected in my observing. Now, the funny thing is, the more tired I am or the worse, or the more bored I am, my observing actually doesn't get worse. My observing is the worst when I have to do something important like, say, tab out, respond about DreamHack casting on the weekend or something, right? That's when you get the comments where everyone's like, stupid observer, what's he doing? Why is the camera AFK? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you could tell that I'm like still waking up when my camera spins or just like, let's get it over with. And I'm like, all right, yeah, there we go. This guy's spawning here. Okay, good. Moving on.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
By the way, gotta give a shout out to this guy. If you missed it a couple days ago, we just finished fundraising a trip for him to go to DreamHack Austin. He is one of the most dedicated people to StarCraft I know behind the scenes. Nice __ username. Which, by the way, when we put that in the donation goal, a lot of people, I guess, never realized he had 2 underscores in his name.
Yeah, I didn't. I do remember, though, that there was someone trying to impersonate him who only had 1 underscore. So that does sound familiar. Yeah, right? By the way, I meant to bring this up, but then I forgot. So chat brings it up with a delay. Applebee's?
Man, I don't know American brand restaurants, so I was just picking the only thing I could think of.
Not something you have in Canada?
No. Well, actually, I think they have one in Vancouver, but I've never been.
Oh, for a minute I thought we were going to California. I don't know why, but I was like, Inside Out, but no.
Let's see, what else is an American restaurant? Let me try and name one. Chipotle? No, Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah, Chipotle. That's a thing in America, right?
Yes, it is, actually.
I know that there's been a couple recently opened up around here, but I've still never been to one. I don't even know what type of food. What do they serve there that everyone gets, like, why is everyone always like, let's go to Chipotle? Yeah.
Well, you could have gone with us in Toronto. It's definitely not an American thing. But basically, it's just like it's.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean American restaurants, but restaurants in America.
Oh, okay.
That we would have or share.
It's just like a lot of food, basically. So it's kind of like Subway in that.
So it is
like
American.
Options. You have a lot of options. Yeah, okay, poutine, whatever. And you can choose like a burrito or a salad or like tacos, I think. But it's just a lot of food, and it tastes pretty good. I finally had it with, at Toronto. I didn't really like it. So preferably not Applebee's and preferably not Chipotle.
Taco Bell? That's another one. We get one of those.
Dude,
Baja
Taco Bell
Blasts.
is delicious. I wouldn't mind that at all. And that'd be super cheap too.
Okay, so unfortunately while this was going on, not even needing to burn the overcharge, the pylon completed after the first depot went down, so this started off rather badly for our poor Karen Boab. He's going to lose the reactor, which sucks, but he doesn't lose the tech labs, which I feel are a little more important because these are not adepts following this up, but more stalkers. So the Marauders will be a little more pertinent in this situation.
Well, the follow-up is more than just regular stalkers. It looks to be like an actual fairly dedicated attack. I mean, it's going to be a total of 6 gateways, which is what you would need anyway, like if you're gonna go to a third base. So TAiLS might expand, but I know he has a War Prism coming along now, and it is timing out really nicely with the gateways. Not so much the blink.
So we got a save it donation that just came in, by the way. Alaska Winter 923 donates $15 and says, I think Porn Stash should stay. Kind of have a Farva from Super Troopers vibe going on. I want a large Farva! I don't want a liter of cola. Chicken fucker.
I did not get.
Give me $20, I'll go call that guy a chicken fucker. Actually, I'm really sad you don't like Super Troopers or Beer Fest. Those are 2 of my...
Beer Fest was so stupid.
But that's what made it so good. Like,
no.
My name's Landfill. I'm his twin brother.
That was a weird day. Okay.
All right. Germany was good done. Yeah, I will say that it wasn't at first, but it became one later. The bucket list item of watching Beer Fest in Germany. I'm really glad I did that.
Well, okay. Congratulations, TAiLS, and congratulations to you. I know this one movie, and it's about a bunch of Canadians. And
then it must be a terrible movie, because I will tell you right now.
It's called Strange Brew.
Well, hang on. Before you tell me about the rest of this, I will tell you right now from experience, all and any Canadian-produced or Canadian-focused movies have been the worst fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
What about the Toronto Film Festival?
What about it?
Like, aren't you guys like really all up in that cinema?
Cinema.
Did you guys good at it?
Oh shit! I just closed Twitch chat. All right, I gotta add $15 to the Save It Foundation. That's gonna be like... Oh wow, that's the perfect donation because it makes it 69.
Hey.
Brackets advanced. Scarlet moves forward. Not so surprising to see. Journey playing against Eki. If that hasn't started, we should try and get into it, but it probably
It
has.
has not. Oh, wait a minute. No, Ekima's just in the lobby.
Okay, well, we're going to play commercial break while Zombie Up sorts that out. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes.